CHMA を聞いています。
The time is 9 o'clock, and you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
Hello, and welcome to CHMA's local news at 106.9 FM and CHMAFM.com. We are broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes on the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. I'm Mike Robar. It's Tuesday, August 18th. In the news today, the Greater Dorchester Moving Forward Co-op is hosting its annual general meeting on Thursday, August 20th. Anyone interested in learning what the group is about or what it gets up to in the community can attend the event at 8 Station Road in Dorchester from 6 to 8 p.m. There will be refreshments and a poutine bar, and attendees will be entered to win a door prize. For parents, there will also be a student to watch your child. And now, CHMA caught up with Mount Allison professor Ilaria Battiloro to talk about the archaeological pilot project she recently returned from. For Ilaria Battiloro, archaeology is more than just history. It's a way to give voice to the voiceless, like the indigenous populations of southern Italy she has spent much of her career studying.
For these cultures, for these communities, for these ethnic groups, we have written sources, we have literary sources, which are primarily Greek and Roman. But we don't have any written source left by these indigenous people. So we have to interrogate the objects. We have to ask the material culture they have left to us to, again, reconstruct who they were, how they lived, and how they interacted with the Greeks first and the Romans later.
In reconstructing those interactions, she hopes to shed light on how cultures influence one another today. Over the summer, the Mount Allison professor in both the Department of Classics and Visual and Material Cultural Studies had the opportunity to expand Mount Allison's archaeological efforts in Italy and further explore the relationship and exchanges between ancient cultures. Battiloro was approached by the Director General of Museums at the Italian Ministry of Culture to develop a new research project at the site of the ancient city of Heraclea. Out of that came the Sacred Heraclea Project, an international collaboration with Mount Allison, archaeologist Mattia Dacri, and the National Archaeological Museum of the Ciritida, part of the Italian Ministry of Culture.
So this is a very exceptional opportunity for Mount Allison because for this project, Mount Allison is involved in an international research project in one of the main Greek cities of southern Italy. There are other very important, illustrious, I would say, research teams already working there, including the University of Berlin and the University of Basilicata.
Heraclea was a Greek city founded in the mid-5th century BCE. For Battiloro and her team, which included a few Mount Allison students, the site is especially significant due to its association with an even older Greek settlement, Cyrrhus, said Battiloro.
Of course, they didn't arrive in an empty landscape. This area was, in fact, had been inhabited for centuries by indigenous people. So I am very much interested in contributing to reconstruct how these encounters worked.
Though Heraclea is a well-known archaeological area, the location they are looking at is a lesser-studied religious sanctuary, the Sanctuary of Vallo. Originally discovered in the 1960s, it has only been sporadically investigated since, so many questions remain, like how it developed or even which deity or deities were worshipped there. Among the first exciting discoveries were new architectural remains found when the team expanded the original excavation area. They also enlisted geologists to collect sediment samples to help with reconstructing the Paleo Channel, or ancient riverbed. While a brook exists at the site today, the samples will tell them if it also existed in antiquity, where it may have served as a natural border for the sanctuary, Battiloro said.
Water is important for ancient religion because water is obviously associated to concepts of fertility, fecundity, but also purification. So we are waiting now for the result of this analysis that was just completed last week on our site.
While this year was a pilot season, Battiloro said it was an extremely productive one, with new archaeological evidence from the expanded excavation and more questions to research next year. Thanks to the success, Battiloro said the plan is to expand the project to a full archaeological field school with between 15 to 20 students participating each year.
So they are not simply spectators, they participate to our work, and this is, I believe, an extraordinary educational opportunity. For Mount Allison students specifically, it means, and this seems obvious, I know, moving from studying the ancient Mediterranean in class here in New Brunswick to actually participating in the process of discovering an archaeological site in the ancient Mediterranean and understanding it within the broader context of the Mediterranean basin.
For CHMA, I'm Mike Robar.
This is Clinton Davis with more CHMA local news. Well, the rains came down this year, so what's with the moody maples? Similar to last summer, many maple tree leaves in Tantramar turned brown, shriveled up, and died, or started to die, this July. Last year, the region faced drought, but this year, the rains certainly came down. So, what's going on here? Yesterday, I spoke with John Haney of Woodpoint, Tantramar. Haney describes himself as a steward of the forest. He maintains trails, creates land-based art projects on his wooded property, plants numerous species of trees, and watches them grow.
I'm not a certified arborist. Most officially, I'm 7 years with Woodpecker Tree Care, seeing all manner of trees day by day, year after year. And at home, I'm keeping an eye on my trees day after day, year after year. So, in one capacity as a day job, and another capacity is my passion.
And that passion and relationship with trees means Haney pays close attention when something in the forest doesn't look right. And this summer, something definitely didn't look right.
A lot of people have talked about what's going on with these maples as feeling like fall coming early, but it's not really, because they're not changing beautiful red or orange or yellow. They're just turning brown and dry and falling off.
The browning leaves have left some looking closer and noticing an increase of black spots as well on many maples.
The black spots is a fungus called tar spot, and it's endemic to Norway maples. They've lived with it for a very long time. It often affects them every year, or most years, and it usually happens middle to late summer. It becomes more prominent, and it's ugly, but it doesn't cause a lot of distress to the trees. It's not great for them, but it doesn't kill them, and they've learned to live with it for a long time.
Haney doesn't think tar spots alone explains the widespread browning. He suspects another fungal disease may also be involved following this year's wet spring. Haney suspects the trees may be dealing with many stressors at once.
There's a fungus called anthracnose. When the trees get wet and there's a lot of dampness, it allows the fungal spores to take hold. But then the other thing is that last year was such a dry year. It was like a drought, and it really made a lot of trees sensitive. And then they become susceptible to things like mildew and mold and fungus and insect attacks.
And next, Haney said something that this reporter had never thought about regarding a number of the maple trees around him every day. He says the maples he's seen affected in recent years are not even from here.
All of the maple trees that this is affecting are Norway maples. So they're invasive. Norway maples are native to everywhere from Scandinavia down to Spain and as far east as like Kazakhstan. and they were brought over here by Europeans to be shade trees.
Some Canadian municipalities, in fact, restrict Norway maples from public planting programs or protected natural areas, including regions of Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax.
The city of Toronto has actually outlawed the planting of Norway maples because they grow fast and they're heavy. The wood's really heavy, but then the trees break really easily in storms. Like with woodpecker tree care, when we do hurricane cleanup, I'd say half of the trees that we're dealing with are Norway maples because they've got very weak unions in the branches.
Regarding environmental factors, Haney did not discount climate change as a source of stress on the Norways, but says the same reason Europeans brought the trees here may be part of the same reason they're suffering. He suspects the Norway maple's thick canopy, great for shade, combined with the stress of last year's drought and this year's extra wet conditions, may have left some trees more vulnerable.
It's kind of a survival of the fittest thing. It's really stressful for a tree to have to lose all of its leaves and then try to pump out another canopy. Like, it's super stressful.
But Haney says he sees a silver lining. He says the native maples don't seem to be experiencing the same problems.
The natives, it's not like the sugar maples, the red maples, and the silver maples seem to be totally fine. Even when they get hit with this kind of dryness and the leaves are falling off like this, often they come back the next year and they're okay.
Of course, next year is contingent on what our climate hits us with. But Haney says Norway maples are hardy trees. Part of the reasons they're considered invasive may just be the reason these trees make it out okay.
Fortunately, these maples, they grow like weeds. They spread like crazy. You know, if there's any silver lining here, it's nice that people notice trees and notice when there's problems. You know, like we don't take them for granted anymore when we see so many having problems.
What kind of climate conditions would improve the situation for next year?
Oh, I don't know. It would be nice if we just had some boring, unprecedented, normal stuff. I don't know. I mean, I've been grateful. Like, my well ran dry in 2017, had to drill a new well, so I'm always anxious about water.
Hanley's experience with drought and water is something we'll hear more about Thursday as CHMA looks at water protection in New Brunswick. But for these trees, Haney is cautiously optimistic.
I think that the Norway maples will probably be okay next year. Hopefully the summer that we've had this year will bring things a little bit back to normal for next year.
But Haney says normal has become difficult to predict.
But I don't know, like, predictability seems like the one thing that there isn't anymore.
For CHMA News, here in Tantramar, I'm Clinton Davis.
こんにちは、私はハルトです。CHMA を聞いています。
And now for your CHMA Atlantic update. The electric utilities in Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador have reached a non-binding agreement to share energy from Labrador, with help from Ottawa. Prime Minister Mark Carney and the premiers of both provinces were on hand to unveil the sweeping tentative agreement today in St. John's, Newfoundland. It outlines plans for Hydro-Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro to share electricity from the Churchill Falls generating station in central Labrador, and to also launch new hydroelectric and wind energy projects. Negotiators hope to hammer out a final deal by the end of this year. 2 people are dead and 2 others are recovering from injuries after a 2-vehicle crash near Jack's Pond in eastern Newfoundland. RCMP say an SUV and a pickup collided on Friday afternoon on the Trans-Canada Highway south of Clarenville. Police say the 2 people in the SUV, a 75-year-old man and a 78-year-old woman, were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the pickup and his passenger were both taken to hospital. RCMP have arrested a man for allegedly making threats and barricading himself inside a trailer at a campground in southwestern Nova Scotia. Police say they were called Friday to the campground in Melbourne, where they were told a man was telling campers he had guns and would release his dog to attack bystanders. When police arrived, they alleged the man barricaded himself inside the trailer with the guns. The campground was evacuated and the man gave himself up soon after, with police seizing 3 loaded shotguns and a loaded rifle. Nova Scotia is beefing up its regional emergency management groups with $800,000 in new funding. The cash will be split between a dozen organizations and will help improve communication systems, hire staff, rent offices, and pay for training. The province says 37 different municipalities will benefit from the new funding. The water system in Edmundston, New Brunswick is getting a $2.4 million upgrade. The money from the 3 levels of government will help extend drinking and wastewater services to the northern part of the city in northwestern New Brunswick. The new infrastructure will support the development of new housing in the area. Ottawa is pledging $1 million, the province is giving $715,000, and the municipality is spending $678,000. The Quebec Major Junior Hockey League's Newfoundland Regiment will hold the first phase of its training camp in Summerside, PEI this week. The St. John's-based team will practice and hold intra-squad games at Credit Union Place starting on Wednesday. Fans are encouraged to visit the area during the training camp. The rivals of the Q League's Charlottetown Islanders played its first season last year. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Hi, I'm Kay, and you are listening to CHMA.
And now for the weather. Today, mainly cloudy with a 30% chance of showers, a high of 24, humidex of 30, and UV index of 6 or high. At night, cloudy with a 30% chance of showers in the evening, a few showers beginning near midnight, about 2 to 4 millimeters, and a low of 17. On Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 26. At night, cloudy periods with a low of 16. On Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 26. At night, clear with a low of 13. On Friday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 25. Then at night, cloudy periods with a low of 11. On Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 22. At night, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and a low of 15. Finally, on Sunday, showers with a high of 20. And that has been the weather.
Hi, I'm Hinako, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
In Major League Baseball action last night, Pete Crow Armstrong of the Chicago Cubs puts on an epic performance for the National League MVP candidate. Crow Armstrong leads off the game with a home run and walks off the game with a home run for the Chicago Cubs. Cubs defeat the Chicago White Sox in 10 innings, 7-5. Tampa Bay Rays, 1-run winners over the Orioles, 7-6. Was 1 run in Philadelphia, 6-5 victory for the Phillies over the Marlins. It was a 1-run game in Citi Field where the Mets beat the Padres 2-1. Twins, they double up Atlanta 4-2 in Minnesota. Royals with a 9-5 victory over the Athletics. Tigers trying to get into the postseason, defeat the Pirates 8-5. It was the Red Sox with the 11-1 victory over the D-backs. Reds, they split a doubleheader against St. Louis. 2-1 for St. Louis in the first one, 6-5 for the Reds in the late one. And it was the Dodgers letting their bats do the talking in Denver. 11-5 victory for Los Angeles over Colorado. WNBA action yesterday. Golden State Valkyries continue their push for the best record in the WNBA. They defeat the Dallas Wings 78-70 at home and now just 2 games behind the Minnesota Lynx for first place. Women's tennis action from the Cincinnati Open. Doubles action saw Canadians Gabrielle Dabrowski and Barbara Krejcikova advance to their next round, the second round, as well as Lila Fernandez and her partner Sarah Arani in straight sets. They advance to the second round. Who will not be advancing is Serena and Venus Williams. The Williams sisters lose their opening round 826-611-0 to Marta Kostiak and Peyton Stearns. Staying with tennis in local Rust League tennis action, Rockers United Solidarity Tour, it was John McKeel defeating Steve Lamke in straight sets, 7-6 in a tiebreaker, 6-3 in the second set. In women's flag football action over the weekend, Canada defeats the U.S. 27-20 to go undefeated in the tournament held in Dusseldorf, Germany, which sees the Canadian squad advance to the Los Angeles 2028 Olympics in flag football, joining the men who had already qualified for the demonstration sport.
And that was Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Be sure to tune in every morning at 8:45 to hear the sports commentary live. Otherwise, it will also air with your CHMA News at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 5 p.m.
こんにちは、私はひなこです。あなたは CHMA を聞いています。
And now for what's happening in your community. Join Tantramar Active Living and Culture as they celebrate another amazing summer with the End of Summer Bash. On Friday, August 21st, the Summer Bash will take place from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Bill Johnston Memorial Park with an afternoon of fun featuring a mega foam party, music, a barbecue, and more. Bring your family and friends as the summer draws to a close. They can't wait to celebrate with you. Once again, this is happening Friday, August 21st at the Bill Johnston Memorial Park from 1 to 3 p.m. Get your best pair of jorts on and come rock out at Ducky's this Friday, August 21st with The Handman. You can expect some great alt-rock originals and covers to make your Friday night special. The music starts at 8 p.m. and the cover cost is $10 or pay what you can. Once again, this is Jorts Night with The Handman on August 21st at 8 p.m. at Ducky's. Join Tantramar Active Living and Culture for the Sackville Summer Fundraiser. Spend the afternoon at Beach Hill Park on August 22nd with family-friendly games, a barbecue, slip and slides, and fun for all ages from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. For those 19 and up, there will also be an outdoor concert from 7 to 11 p.m. featuring beer and great local music. Concert tickets are just $15 and include a reusable commemorative beer mug. All proceeds will support accessibility improvements at the Tantramar Veterans Memorial Civic Center. Gather your friends, bring your lawn chair, and help make a difference while enjoying a great day of summer fun. Join Ducky's on August 29th for a killer lineup of shows starting at 8 p.m. Puffin is straight out of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and promises a loud, high-energy set. Devil's Punch Bowl will also be playing, and the doors open at 7 p.m. Admission is $15 or pay what you can. And that's what's happening in your community.
And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com.
Do you like movies but don't know what to watch? Hi, my name's Angie.
And I'm Kiara, and we're the hosts of Let's Be Honest.
We really are.
Each week, we're going to watch and review a new movie. If you're a movie buff like us, tune in at 6 p.m. on Mondays.
And we'll give you our best dad jokes.
Dad jokes?
Duh. Kiara?
Yes, Angie?
I made a movie about farm life, but the film quality was too grainy, and the plot was very corny.
Okay.
Whether you are heading to work, getting off a shift, or just waking up in the morning, you are listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, voice of the marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and this is the Late Morning Show. Today is Tuesday, August 18th, and I hope you guys are having a good morning so far. I know I am. We're going to go ahead and jump into some music right away. So first up, we've got Loren with Freewheeling, as well as Steph Chura with Danny. Thank you so much, as always, for listening, and I hope you enjoy the music.
Top down on a summer's day, you can go my way if you got nowhere to go.